Thank you for that introduction. And I want to thank everyone who's out here today. A special thank you to my Capstone advisors, all my professors who are here, and my friends and my family. So, before we begin, I want to invite all of you to join me in a short meditation practice if you feel comfortable doing so. It's completely okay if not. But we can begin by closing our eyes. Allow your attention to turn inward and let your shoulders drop down to the earth. Let your cheekbones relax into your face and take a deep breath. Feel the air enter your nostrils and make its way to the heart center. Take a moment to sense any warmth in your body. What color does this feeling take on? Focus on that color. And with each breath, imagine that color radiate and pulsate within you. As you inhale and exhale, silently say to it, "May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. And may you be free." Feel that little ball of color radiate and tingle inside you. Allow it to expand from its current epicenter and reach all parts of your body, from the top of your head to the tips of your fingers and toes. Now, repeat these words to yourself. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. And may I be free. Let these words resonate within you, embracing you with kindness and compassion. And as you continue to breathe deeply, imagine sharing this loving kindness with the world around you. Feel the color leave your body and engulf the spaces around you. Let it seep into every neighbor and every person in this room. With each breath, extend your metta to others. May we all be well. May we all be happy. May we all be peaceful. And may we all be free. Take a few more moments to sit with this feeling of loving kindness, allowing it to fill you and surround you. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. So, when I was in middle school, I played the part of the Buddha in a yoga ballet and a performative installation. And I had to sit still for over 2 hours in a very crowded place. And I was very young. In this performance where I could not exchange a single word with my audience, I had to learn how to connect with people in a way that surpassed language. And that is when I found metta, the meditation practice that we just did. So there's no English word for metta. It loosely translates to loving kindness. In Buddhism, it's considered to be the first attitude of mind that's necessary for social well-being and individual peace. But to me, metta is much more than that. Metta is about connecting, sharing, and collaborating with the world. It taps into a universal consciousness that extends beyond the individual entity, much like the act of creation. As creators, as artists and designers, our work tends to extend beyond mere objects and ideas. Our work becomes an invitation for connection, a platform for collaboration, and a medium through which we share our visions, experiences, and emotions. Right from the time when I was performing as the Buddha to where I am now at Brown and RISD, as a creator, I've always grappled with the questions of purpose and impact when I'm exploring the intersection of materiality and meaning in human experience and expression. Metta, a practice that I've embodied for the majority of my life, gives me that purpose in how it connects me with the world. It has always been about sharing with the world the energies that are held within the colors that I see within myself. In 2022, when I was halfway done with my degree, I was overwhelmed by the sheer volume of work I was making and creating and putting out into this world. Be it essays or video projects or textiles, I found myself questioning the purpose of these objects, ideas, and materials. And with the exception of very few things, I felt like I was either screaming into a void or merely adding noise to an already crowded place. I was constantly wondering, how is my work creating an impact that extends beyond me? Why does my work need to be shared with the world? And how does my work spawn connections with my communities and my societies? That year, I took a semester's break, and through the support of the RISD Museum and RISD Research, I returned to India to immerse myself in learning about the weaving traditions from the north of the subcontinent. Earlier that year, I myself had learned how to weave. The painstaking process of creating a single length of fabric led me to start conversations with artisans and craftspeople in the Kashmir Valley. I learned that in creating a single Kashmiri shawl, more than 15 specialized craftspeople are involved. From the goat herders to the yarn dyers and the pattern drafters, each of these creators has been a part of a long legacy of the world-renowned Pashmina fabric. I realized that despite my individual knowledge and skills, there were vast realms of expertise and experience far beyond my reach. This experience allowed me to approach my own work with humility, curiosity, and a deep sense of connection to the broader human experience and our shared creativity. In this, I saw the value of collaboration, community, and cultural preservation in creative practices. And my morning meditations, where I send love to the people around me, to my communities, and the whole world, have the same goal as my creative practice: the goal of sharing with the world, of reimagining our futures and fostering community through collaboration. Today, I want to speak about two projects that were important for me to share with the world. Projects that gave my voice a meaning, my practice a meaning, and my voice a purpose. So the first, you've heard about this already if you were here in the morning, was launching New England's first publication for the South Asian diaspora. Designed is a 160-page compilation of ingenious craftsmanship, subaltern histories, and current contemplations of untold stories that need to be shared. Created with Siddharth Tupel, a RISD alum, and Mehak Vora, a fellow dual degree student, this publication brought the colors and vibrancy of our homelands to our new home, here in New England. From carefully selecting the paper to crafting each cover, the publication invites each of us to immerse ourselves in a shared moment of contemplation, connection, and cultural exchange. From writing most of the articles to rallying for funds and finally distributing 400 freely accessible copies, the 2 years that we all spent working on this labor of love taught me more about my community and my role in this world than any other experience I've had at Brown or RISD. I promised I wouldn't cry during this. And I vividly remember the first draft we created. It looks nothing like what exists today. Oh, my timing's gonna be so bad now. From larger curatorial edits to minute changes in the grid structure and typographic arrangements, we learned from the professors, peers, and members of our community. Each of them spent hours amending each aspect of our publication. And every day I was learning to wake up to learn something new from the people around me. I want to especially thank Jen, Doug, Malini, and Pradyumna. Stephen Sloman, in The Knowledge Illusion, Why We Never Think Alone, states, "Our intelligence resides not in individual brains, but in the collective mind. To function, individuals rely not only on knowledge stored within our skulls, but also on knowledge stored elsewhere, in our bodies, in our environments, and especially in the people around us." Every day, we were crossing hurdles with the guidance and support of these people. I realized that knowledge and creativity are often much more material than I had ever imagined. They live physically in the bodies and environments all around me. There's a Buddhist concept, mudita. It means joy for the success of another. It refers to the deep sense of happiness and joy that we feel for someone else's well-being, because their success and their happiness is seen as a success and happiness that belongs to all of us. In creating Designed, not only did we tap into a collective mind, we also tapped into a collective joy. I saw the people around me exhibit mudita towards me, towards all of us. And design was a success that we all shared, a joyful purpose that we all shared. And in this, I saw my work have an impact beyond me, in how it created a platform to amplify voices and forge connections across communities. Design was launched in an event that served as a space for connection and conversation for students, faculty, staff, and members of the Providence community. The overwhelming response we received, with around 200 people celebrating the publication, was my reaffirmation in the pervasiveness of mudita. And here, I met many young authors, editors, and designers who wanted to continue the legacy of design. They had a desire to continue to foster community and a platform for South Asians to share with the world. And in the last year, Meg and I passed on this publication to a new team. And 1 week ago, they launched the publication's second issue. In this process, I had to learn to share with others that which had been shared with me. The learnings, the lessons, and the love for bringing all of this together. And despite how difficult it was to relinquish control of something that I devoted such a large part of my college career to, I too experienced mudita, a deep joy and success for our new team, because their success was all of our success. I experienced what it meant to share with the world and leave an impression that may outlive my time in a place. And while the publication will definitely live on in its physical form, the bigger legacy of this work is the relationships and communities that we have been able to create along the way. For the first time in my work, I found a sense of connection with the world, a connection that I had only otherwise found in my practice of metta. This steered me in the direction of seeking collaborative work. Now, more than ever, I was convinced that my work as a designer needed people and human connection to have a purpose and meaning. This year, I had the opportunity to be a part of another collaborative endeavor, a cross-disciplinary exhibition designed by students across 7 disciplines at RISD, titled Objects May Shift. The exhibition, shown at Salone Satellite in Milan earlier this year, is a cross-pollination of ideas, materials, and scales that investigates our relationship with the domestic interior. From furniture made with paper-making techniques from Mesoamerica to ceramics that challenge the institution of religion, the exhibition is a critique of capitalism. It addresses the shifts in our climate, global politics, and collective consciousnesses to reconstruct our understanding of form, function, and meaning. I worked on many facets of this exhibition, dipping my toes in the world of identity and branding and graphics and website user experience. But all I really gained out of it was that we all need to work together. From the variable typeface that reflects the shifts we reference through our work, to decisions about how the digital and physical identities of the exhibition should coexist and complement each other, I didn't know anything going in, and I came out learning so much. In addition to this, I had the opportunity to collaborate with a master's student, Kipper Ryan-Smith, to develop a modular inflatable. Even though Kipper was the industrial designer on this project, and I was a textile designer, our process demanded hours of working interchangeably. Our initial meetings involved transforming Kipper's wiggle form, which was initially a dividing wall, into a multifunctional furniture object that is conducive to creative collaboration and innovation. It arose from the need for objects to reimagine the future of the interior as one that is dynamic, intriguing, and ever-evolving. It supports the work that I have found purpose in doing, work that borrows from the knowledge and experiences of diverse sets of people and places that transcend disciplinary boundaries. We were posed with the challenge of making a fabric that was highly technical, in that it had to expand up to 8 times its resting state and then spontaneously recover into its original form, and yet be soft and visceral in its need to dress the interior, much like how a sweater would dress the human body. Despite my apprehensions, this fabric was finally made. The fabric has many technical requirements, but yet on the surface has 100% wool that elicits a sense of warmth and comfort. And it uses color as the primary tool for engagement, where a hidden landscape is revealed in the knitted upholstery as it inflates to encourage moments of curiosity and wonder. In the end, we developed the Knit Wiggle, a modular inflatable that transcends traditional boundaries of static furniture, creating flexible spaces out of thin air. In its resting state, the object is a cushioned seat. Can I turn the sound off? Okay, I'll speak over it. In its resting state, the object, I'll wait for it. It doesn't stop. The object is a cushioned seat in its resting state, a warm and inviting place for community dialogue. And within seconds, well, more seconds than I wish, the seat expands into a dividing wall that builds private and intimate spaces. Multiple walls can nestle together to make an adaptable division of space. True to the name of the exhibition we designed, objects may shift. The Knit Wiggle as an object literally shifts, but a lot of other things shifted too. With my varied interests, I have always felt like an imposter in the textiles department. However, for the first time in 4 years, things shifted. I realized that I am a textile designer. Maybe I'm even a product designer. And my practice has always been linked to the things that bring me purpose. My understanding of color comes from my practice of metta, and my draw to the materiality of wool comes from my memories of being embraced by Kashmiri shawls when I was a child. Edward Tolman's theory of latent learning states that learning may not be apparent at first, but it tends to appear later in situations where it's needed or in situations where there's sufficient motivation. I have always known how to make textiles. The ideas, the material knowledge, the skills, they've been latent within me. I needed the motivation of making something with a meaning. I needed the collaborative calling that came from the people around me. I witnessed a profound shift in my understanding of knowledge and creative production. Collaboration is not about pooling resources or sharing tasks. It's about harnessing a collective intelligence. An intelligence that, as Stephen Sloman says, comes from the collective mind. And it comes from a diversity of human experiences. It brings people together and asks us to respond to shifts in our environment together. This work planted the seed for my undergraduate thesis, which brings together textiles and contemplative studies and psychology and art and design history. The Knit Wiggle, along with another collaborative work with a sculpture and film animation and video student, Dway Lunkar, made the body of my textiles collection, which considers how objects in the interior interact with human consciousness to design more contemplative societies. Contemplative Spaces proposes a theory of designing built environments that facilitate moments of mindfulness in everyday life. This is my contemplative studies capstone. The site is an online archive that dives into theories of operant conditioning and neuroaesthetics to create a living document for artists, designers, and architects. It addresses how controlled aesthetic feedback through color, visual spatial relations, and haptics can be used as a primary reinforcer to design spaces that reduce cognitive load. This work is based on a need to reimagine how we want to live our futures, our shared futures. A reimagination that has been a part of my meditation practice for as long as I can remember, and now is a part of my creative practice too. This is the first step to what I hope to do for a very long time. Sorry. Not much has changed since middle school. Metta is still my way of connecting with the world as a designer and a creator. And now I have a new platform and more tools to actually share with the world through what I make. I really hope with everything I make, I continue to share metta. I hope I share the wish for us all to be happy, and us all to be joyful, and us all to be well, and us all to be peaceful, and us all to be free. I hope you enjoy the little takeaways that are on your seats as a reminder of the power of metta and the power of making in all of our lives. And before I end, I want to thank each of you for sharing these moments with me. And I especially want to thank my Capstone advisors who have helped me put this together, all of my professors, my collaborators who are here. None of the work on this is mine, it's all ours. And thank you, Mehek, for always being there with me through that. Thank you.